Broadcasting live from the moon and back, this is The Coin Chat, the most trusted voice for all things cryptocurrency. Each week we dissect an important issue and cut through the noise and misinformation out there in the world of blockchain, cryptocurrency, and ICOs, capturing the facts that truly matter to you that will give you an edge in this fast-moving emerging market. The who, what, where, when, and how of what you need to know in crypto to get ahead so you don't get left behind. Now here are your co-hosts, financial and crypto experts Yuri Cataldo, Steve Good.
Hey, this is Steve Good.
And Yuri Cataldo.
And we're back once again on the Coin Chat, cutting through the noise and misinformation in cryptocurrency to tell you what truly matters.
Yes, we are.
Nice to see you, Yuri. I think today should be an interesting episode. So we have a very special episode today for two reasons. One is we're cutting through the noise on Dapps because there's been a lot of negative sentiment. But more importantly, or maybe not more importantly, but certainly important, is that we've collaborated on this episode with Arcos, the company that makes a variety of hardware equipment. And today we have a special episode because we have hidden a mnemonic phrase within the episode today in honor of Arcos' launch of their newest hardware wallet for cryptocurrency, which is called the SafeT Mini, which is SAFE-T Mini, which is a hardware wallet. Competitors like Ledger, Trezor, KeepKey, so they've launched theirs now. And in honor of that episode, we're doing a special Chase the Bitcoin episode with Arcos. So for those who are out there chasing the Bitcoin, I wish you all the best today. And those who are not chasing the Bitcoin, you should jump in. It's kind of fun. Apparently, you can win up to the equivalent value of about 1 Bitcoin. So good luck to everybody. And hopefully you'll find the mnemonic phrase in our episode. So now let's jump in and let's just talk about the Dapps, because I think that's pretty exciting. And we'll give hints and tips about where this mnemonic phrase is as we go through the episode anyway.
Sure. So before we get to that, should we talk about what a DApp or DApp is? Okay,
sure. So, I mean, effectively, we all know what apps are. You have them on your phone, for example. The distinction with a DApp, meaning distributed app, is that effectively we are allowing the app to be so distributed that it's not under any control from one person. It's not, operated and run by one central place. It's fully distributed. The controls are in our hands as individuals on our PCs or phones, but we're all communicating with each other in a decentralized way. So it's truly the kind of reaching the goal of what cryptocurrency would be, which is operating in a truly decentralized way without any kind of centralized servers or centralized environments. Now, the interesting thing is there's been so much negative sentiment about crypto that for me, it's frustrating that there's so many people saying nothing's come out, nothing's happened, because that's simply not true. There are distributed apps or decentralized apps that are already out there, and it just seems like this is a good time to tell people and remind people that there are good things happening and things are actually moving ahead. And we did challenge this, I think, back in January or February. We talked about it'll be interesting to see where we are around second, third quarter of 2018 and how many of these dApps actually make it. And I'm happy to say we can actually list 7 today and a few other outliers that we think might potentially be good ones for the future. So yeah, shall we just jump right in with our favorites?
Yeah, let's jump in with our favorites of 2018.
So I'll start with my least favorite, and you can go from there. So my least favorite, although it is quite a popular one, is IDEX, which is actually a decentralized exchange. Now, the reason I'm not a big fan of it is simply the lack of volume that's on the exchange itself. There are tons of coins on there that just have zero, no volume, and it's sad. And that's a state of showing that, there are some coins that are trading on the exchange that do have a lot of volume and some that just don't have much or any. But needless to say, it's a start. And it's a popular exchange. It does work, connects straight through your MetaMask wallet or your, or through your Trezor ledger, whatever. So it's got some good value. It's just a question of, can we make it more widely adopted and used? So, but needless to say, it's still it's a solid working DApp.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so the DApp that I use the most is Steem. So that we've talked about before on the channel, which is an interactive platform where people can make posts and kind of go back and forth. apparently there are over 50,000 daily active users on this one. And the cryptocurrency itself has gone up in value over the last couple of years. So, it's like Medium meets Reddit, but it pays you in Steam dollars.
Right.
So it's interesting, and I find a very active community on there. So I kind of dab in and out of that DApp, but it's a fun one, and it's on the rise.
And you use it quite a lot. Do you write content on there as well? Or are you just using it for reading content?
I'm using it mostly for reading content. I used to write content on there, and that was a couple of years ago, and I didn't really see a lot of results immediately.
Right.
But it is a way to get, when we talked about in our previous episode about how to get free coins, that's one way to do it. Like, you write articles, people like you, or they vote it up, and you get free, Steam dollars in exchange for your writing. So that's a way to do that as well.
So you can make money writing as well, which is not bad, so that you're actually being rewarded for participating.
Yes.
That's very cool. So we'll go to the third one. So now we've talked about predictive markets before, although under various controversies that came out in the previous episodes. But to be honest, two predictive markets products out there. One is Gnosis, and the other is Augur. And from me, I think, the fact is they're both out, they're live, they're working platforms. People can have whatever controversy they want about a predictive market that's got assassination attempts on there or not, as we proved.
Right.
But the point is, you can make various predictions about things, and they work. And they're pretty cool. And you can make your own predictions. People can vote on your predictions. They can bet on your predictions of whatever it is you want, from, the moon will split in two in 2027, or to Yuri's going to drink a coffee in the next 5 minutes. and all our possible outcomes that will have a yes or no. I'd like to join you for a coffee face-to-face for once. It'd be nice.
Right, definitely.
So that's my third. I really like the fact that these predictive platforms are out. I saw them in 2017, the concepts of them. I didn't quite understand what they would do, but I've tried them. I've used them. They work. They're cool. And it's great to see that we've seen some dApps arrive into the market. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, it really is to see them arrive. So another one is Golem. And so I wish Golem would have existed back when I was a designer 10 years ago, because you're able to, rent someone else's idle computer power. So the example I see the most is, people who are doing like CGI artists, because it takes so long to render, you can just rent someone else's computing power. But the idea of this is absolutely amazing. I know they're having Brass Golem was supposed to have come out. Actually, it did come out in May, and I haven't followed up from that. Have you heard anything from that?
I mean, I know that they had some release discussions in May, June timeframe that were supposed to be updates. I haven't checked in any detail, but there's been what I have noticed is there's been gradually more news about Golem, or more discussions about them generally, and I haven't had the chance to look at any particular project in that much detail. But the fact that you're hearing more about it is cool. I do like the idea of being able to have shared compute power, so that when you need your computing power for something, you can go and render a 3D image through multiple computers around the world, or you can do sorts of transactions or calculations. I mean, that's certainly got to be great for scientists and for researchers that need compute power for certain things as well. So that's really cool, and it's really truly the form of decentralized, isn't it? Because your content is really being leveraging a lot of compute power around the world.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, here's another one I really like is Bancor, because although you don't hear much about them in the, let's say, the dApps world so much, you hear about them more in the world of the ICOs and trying to have various forms of liquidity and having enough cash available for transactions. They really have built an app that's really, really, really widely used and deployed by a huge number of people. And with every ICO project I ever talk to, it's amazing how they always talk about setting up a partnership with Bancor. It's all the time.
Cool.
So yeah. So I mean, if you're talking about a project that's truly made its name and made a mark in society and in the industry, I'd say that's one that's not in the public consumer space so much, but it's definitely one that's widely used and talked about all the time.
Yeah. Excellent. All right. So one, I'm going to do a shout out to a nice Boston company, First Blood, a decentralized esports platform.
Very nice.
So
Like
there's
that. That was a good move. Give a shout out to your local hood. Shout out to First
local
Blood.
Boston
Nice.
team.
Yeah, cool.
Exactly. So yeah, so you can. I haven't used this platform, but now I feel like I need to. But it allows gamers to test their skills, bet on games, and you're not subject to downtime, hacks, money transfers, regulations, middlemen. It really gives you a chance to play esports and just pay back and forth between whoever it is you're playing against and not worry about people stealing things or going down that path.
That's very cool. So
Yeah.
I'm going to follow up with my last one, and then let's give a shout out to a couple of the kind of outliers that are up and coming, because I think there's a few others that we haven't mentioned in our top 7. One which is related to the First Blood, which I'll hold off on for a moment. But my last one that I really like, and I'm going to give a shout out to my friend Richard Ells, CEO of the company, based in my hometown, London,
Nice.
and that's Electronium. So there you go. We both named one in our hometowns. So
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Electronium for a few reasons. One was they had a phenomenal ICO. I mean, they raised their funds very quickly. They did some really cool things with marketing and getting people engaged at the beginning, but they have grown the platform. And, if you go and do top 10, top 7, top 9 searches, you don't find them ever listed, but they have a growing user community. They have a usable app. It's working.
Yeah.
It's using instant payments. It works. People have it. They're using it all the time. And I don't know why no one mentions them ever for their D app, but it's out there. It's working. It's in use, and it's got a fast growing community. So so that's my shout out to London for Electronium.
Nice.
So going back to First Blood, so there's another interesting one coming out in I think November of this year, which is Unicoin Gold. Which is another esports platform. Now that one was actually backed by Mark Cuban and Ashton Kutcher, and that's going to be pretty cool as well when it comes out, I think, because it's got a big team behind it. It was formed, the original company Unicorn.
Yeah.
Unicorn was the original esports company, and they transformed we can't even say it, but the original Unicorn company was actually an esports company. They transformed this into Unicoin Gold, which is their UKG token used for the sports stuff. And that's going to be, that's another one that I think will be exciting to see in 2018. That'll be really cool when that comes out. Yeah. There's a few others I think we've talked about in the past, like 10x in Singapore and ChangeBank also in Singapore. Both have built some bits and pieces of their platform. I'd like to see more of those guys get their game straight and get their stuff working better. They've had plenty of time. But they do have stuff out. They do have stuff working. So I kind of put those 3, Unicoin Gold, 10x, and ChangeBank. I think they're worth just keeping an eye on for the next wave of Dapps that are coming. I think we're going to see a lot more in the very near future.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, for all those people out there that are dire, there's no Dapps, there's nothing happening in crypto, not true. We've just named off 10 without trying very hard. There were tons of others that we evaluated before we did these 10. I'm sure there's plenty of comments people could make down in the description below for YouTube, letting us know what we missed, which we'd be more than welcome to hear. Exactly. It's always good to get additional comments and feedback. So, so that's our top 7. And now, just to close out, because we did say there's a mnemonic phrase hidden within this episode, I dare say we've already mentioned the word several times. So
we have, yes.
Yeah, that's evil of us. Now, to find out what the actual word is, because we know that you guys love us and you want to follow us and subscribe to us and hear more about what we're doing. Here's how we're going to do this. If you haven't worked out what the word is yet, you can subscribe to our channel first, then send us an email to thecoinchatpodcast@gmail.com. In the subject, just let us know what the word is that you believe is the mnemonic phrase, and we promise we will respond to every single email with a yes, you got it. And if you didn't get it, we'll give you a very specific hint as to where to find the word in our episode.
Yes, we will.
Now, on the final note, Yuri, because I know we've spoken to Arcos about their Safety Mini, and they were going to send us some to try them out. Did yours arrive yet?
No, maybe it got, it's a little bit delay. So no, it has not.
I think they're sending it from France, actually, so that might be why
they
you
are.
haven't You get it
That
right.
could be. That could